So the exercises in this video were recommended to me by Eliott Hulse, by Greg Leeman, who was on Eliott Hulse's channel recently, and he recommended some really good accessory exercises to really help with improving your deadlift, and it was totally mind-blowing. I don't know anybody else. My perspective, I'm a personal trainer. I've been training for 12 years, and I understand the body really well. I have good anatomy background, and I'm pretty good with knowing how to fit things in with certain parts. I'm not an amazing athlete by any means. Haven't accomplished anything as far as like lifting lots of weight, but I know how the body works. And when you pick an exercise or exercises that have a very specific reason to be used, you want them. It's kind of cool how they connect. And when he said these three things: Romanian deadlift, yates row, and box stance deadlifts, I was completely blown away, because I knew in my head that mainly the box stance or the deadlift stance box squats. When he said that, this big light bulb came off in my head, and I could totally connect the dots of all the muscles that connect in such a way where that will totally help my deadlift. I can easily get to over 500, probably 520 within the next 4 weeks just by doing box squat or deadlift stance box squats. And the reason why is because when you stop at the bottom of a box squat with 300 or 400 pounds on your back, having to drive almost from a dead position, sitting down on a box, is almost exactly similar. Greg Leeman says it in the video. I'll put a link in the show notes. It mimics exactly what a deadlift leg drive should feel like, and it's totally cool. So anyways, I at the end of this video I have it set up in there. RDLs is kind of cool because I haven't really done them a whole lot, and I know they're going to help me with kind of my mainly lower back. How you do use a good amount of lower back in this, and I do a lot of sets with this exercise for the particular reason my lower back needs to get adjusted to this exercise. Yates row is just cool because you can actually handle a ton of weight. The only problem with this exercise is the neck. Like, you can pull your levator. I've pulled my left side of my levator before, and it really sucks. You can't turn your head. So I was kind of cautious. I went to 225. I'm probably going to go up to 250, 275 next week. And the big variation he did was that you do a little bit back extension, so that way you work that lower back just a little bit more. That way you can pull it back, pull those shoulder blades down and back. Because I remember when I deadlifted 485 pounds for the first time on Tuesday, I can feel my shoulder blades wanting not to pull back, and I can see why the Yates row would help that. Now here's me doing rear delt rows. You can skip to the 4-minute mark if you don't want to see these. I'm recording these because, man, they're the most boring exercises to watch, and they're boring to do, but they're important for shaping and molding out your shoulder so that you have a balanced shoulder. Not only do you work your rear delts, but you also work the posterior fibers of your medial head of your deltoid. So obviously for mainly aesthetic reasons, but there's actually a pretty good functional reason. If you want to bench a lot of weight and your rear delts aren't strong enough, it's definitely going to make it hard for the humeral head or the humerus, your upper arm bone, to stay centered in the socket, and what that will cause problems. Like, for example, impingement in the shoulder. There's a lot of other things that occur, but those are one of the main things. And to be completely honest, it's really just aesthetics. You want to have a nice cannonball on your shoulder so it's well-rounded when you get looked at the side. Now what I do here is I do some really light deadlifts, just a few sets before I do the box squats, just to make sure that I can mimic my feet so that they feel close together. And just so you know, my level of strength with box squat or with squats, my PR was probably about 4 or 5 months ago. I did 360 pounds for 1 rep. And then earlier this week I did 300 pounds for 8 reps, and then last week I did 315 for 5 reps. I can go heavier, but my biggest limiter is my lower back. So I'm a little bit cautious, and I try not to go beyond my means. So here I'm practicing some box squats with 225. And I have the box a little high. I'm just using a bench. And the bench is a little higher than I expected it to be. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to feel out exactly how the deadlift would feel like with my feet where they are, so that I can feel my glutes, I can feel my quads. I can feel my muscles activate in a way that's very similar to the way when I do a conventional deadlift. My max conventional deadlift is 445. My max sumo deadlift is 485. As of this recording, which is October 11th, 2013. And you're stopping at the bottom, keeping everything tight. And when you get to the bottom, you pause for the purpose of having to not take advantage of the stretch reflex that you can get from a squat. And I'm really just trying my best to keep my shin as vertical as I can, and again get the same sort of positioning when I normally deadlift, because at my deadlift, when I do a conventional deadlift, is that this way. So this is 315 pounds, and a different angle, because I'm actually using these videos to actually check my form, to see my lower back and check other positioning, making sure my butt doesn't wink. But because this is essentially a partial squat, it's, it doesn't wink at all. I do need to get a box though, so that I can have more options when I need to. And it's the end of the week. I'm kind of beat up, so I don't want to push too hard. My knees are bugging me just a tiny bit. Here's 335, and I can't remember the last time I did 335. I had it on my back. And watching these videos, I'm tempted. I'm here in my garage right now. I'm tempted to freaking squat this 355 that I left here on the rack, but I'm not going to. But I'll try to do 400 next week, that's for sure. So here's 355 pounds, and I'm box squatting this. Look, no knee wraps or anything. And a little nerve-wracking because I haven't lifted this weight in a really long time. And it feels good, I'm just driving. I can see my sticking point there at the top. I can feel it. And, I'm really questing for this 500-pound deadlift by the end of the year, which I know I'll hit very soon. And then I also have my 600-pound deadlift by the end of next year. So I'm just a regular guy. I'm a personal trainer. That's my job profession. I train regular people. But for my personal strength goals, I really want to hit the 600-pound deadlift by the 2014. And then possibly a 700-pound deadlift the following year, depending on how things go. But anyways, if you like my videos, you got some good information, please subscribe. And thank you.